Riya never believed in perfect, fairy tale love. To her, love was never about perfection. It was about staying. Staying even when things hurt, even when the heart felt heavy, even when tears came silently at night. She was the kind of person who didn't walk away easily. She would break herself into pieces just to keep a relationship alive. And maybe that's why, when Arham came into her life, she thought this time would be different. This time, love would finally choose her the way she always chose it. She still remembered the first day she saw him in college. He stood out without even trying. Confident, charming, with a smile that carried warmth and a presence that drew people in. Every girl noticed him, but somehow his eyes stopped at only one face, Riya. That single glance was enough to create a quiet storm in her heart, like something had shifted inside her world without a sound. The beginning felt magical. Long late-night calls where time didn't matter, endless conversations about everything and nothing, long walks after college where silence felt comforting instead of awkward. They would argue over the smallest things, and Arham would always find a way to make it right. Sometimes with a joke, sometimes with a soft apology, and sometimes just by holding her hand a little tighter. Those moments weren't just beautiful. They were alive, breathing memories that settled deep in Riya's heart. Arham would often look into her eyes and say, "I will never leave you, Riya. Never." And every time he said it, her heart would feel safe, like she had finally found a place where she belonged. She didn't just believe his words, she lived in them. Slowly, without realizing it, she gave him all of herself, without conditions, without fear. But time has a way of revealing truths we try to ignore. As days turned into months, something began to change. The love was still there, but the effort started fading. Arham became busier. New friends, new routines, new priorities. And somewhere in all of that, Riya started to fade into the background. His messages became shorter, his calls became rare. The boy who once couldn't go hours without talking to her now barely found time for her. But Riya stayed the same. She didn't complain. She told herself he was just busy, that this was normal, that love evolves. She kept waiting for a message, for a call, for a moment where things would feel like they used to. She adjusted herself again and again, quietly pushing her own feelings aside just to make space for him. One night, when the silence inside her became too loud to ignore, she finally gathered the courage to call him. Her voice trembled slightly as she asked, "Do you even love me anymore?" There was a pause, a long, heavy silence. Then Arham said, "Why do you overthink everything?" That wasn't the answer she needed. It wasn't even an answer. It was avoidance, indifference, and it broke something deep inside her. But even then, she didn't leave. Because for her, love was never something you could just let go of. She was still holding on to hope, even if it was only a fragile piece. Days turned into months, and the relationship slowly became one-sided. Riya kept giving, her time, her energy, her care, her love, while Arham kept taking, without realizing how empty she was becoming. She stood by him through everything, his stress, his problems, his ambitions, but when she needed him, he was never there. Then one day, Riya fell sick. High fever, weak body, no one at home. She felt completely alone. Still, she reached out to the one person she thought would come. She called Arham. "I'm not feeling well. Can you come?" she whispered softly, her voice barely holding on. "I'm busy, Riya. I'll call you later." But he never did. That night, lying alone in her room, with tears silently falling, Riya finally accepted the truth she had been avoiding for so long. She was loving someone who no longer cared. The next morning, she made a decision. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet and final. She stopped calling, stopped texting, and most importantly, she stopped waiting. At first, Arham didn't notice. He continued living his life the way he always had. But as days passed, and then a week, something began to feel off. He texted her, "Why are you acting so strange?" Riya read the message, and for the first time, she didn't reply. That silence was heavier than any argument. Arham tried calling her, again and again. No answer. He texted her multiple times. Still no reply. And for the first time, he felt what Riya had been feeling for months. Distance, emptiness, being ignored. Days later, he went to see her. When Riya opened the door, she wasn't the same girl anymore. There was a calmness in her eyes, a quiet strength. She didn't look broken. She didn't look weak. She looked whole. "Why are you ignoring me?" Arham asked, his voice filled with confusion. Riya looked into his eyes. For a brief moment, memories flickered between them. Then she said softly, "I'm not ignoring you. I'm choosing myself." Those words hit deeper than anything else. "Riya, I love you," he said quickly, as if trying to hold on to something that was already slipping away. Riya smiled. A small, tired, but real smile. "You loved me when I was leaving," she replied. And that was the truth. Some love, when it comes too late, loses its meaning. Time passed. Riya moved on. Not into another relationship, but into herself. She learned how to live again. She found joy in small moments. She smiled without forcing it. She breathed without pain. And most importantly, she learned how to love herself, the way she had once loved someone else. And Arham? He understood everything. But too late. One day, he saw her from a distance. She was laughing, her eyes shining, her presence light and free. She was happy. She was complete. And she was without him. For the first time in his life, he realized the value of someone who stays, who loves without conditions, who gives without limits. But not all love stories end with togetherness. Some end with lessons. Because sometimes you don't lose someone when they walk away. You lose them when you stop valuing them. And that was the end of their story. A beautiful beginning, a painful journey, and a silent, unforgettable lesson. Please subscribe my channel and press the like button.